This is a cell. Oh wait, you can't see it? There you go. Let me just focus it for you. In a cell, there's a nucleus. In the nucleus, there are chromosomes. Chromosomes are essential for all plants and animals. Chromosomes are made from protein and a single molecule of DNA, which is passed down from your parents and contains special instructions which makes everyone here unique. Sometimes there may be some mistakes in the chromosomes, leading to some people having trisomy, an extra chromosome. But before we head into our main topic, let's start off with, what is trisomy? Trisomy is a chromosomal disorder. So for example, a person needs 46 chromosomes, but someone with trisomy would have 47. Down syndrome, Edwards syndrome, Pateau syndrome are some of the most common types of trisomy. But for today, we'll be just talking about Down syndrome, also known as trisomy 21. The reason this syndrome is called trisomy 21 is because the extra chromosome in this case is called chromosome 21. There are 3 different types of Down syndrome. There's a standard trisomy 21, translocation, and mosaicism. But 90 to 95% of people who have Down syndrome have standard trisomy. Now let's dive into how trisomy 21 happens. As we know, by having the extra chromosome 21, it creates Down syndrome. But now I'll be explaining on how that third chromosome actually gets there. There is a process called meiosis. It's fairly similar to mitosis, but I won't be going into too much depth with that. Essentially, it is during the meiosis when the extra chromosome gets there, but I'll be thoroughly explaining that with diagrams right now. Alright, so first I'll be showing you how the chromosomes should actually separate during the meiosis. First, it starts off with a cell with a pair of chromosomes. And then when the cell splits, it should then have one chromosome in each cell, and another chromosome in the other cell. This is meiosis 1. Those 2 cells will then split into another 2 cells each, which will both contain 1 chromatid each. This is how meiosis should go when went properly. There are 2 ways meiosis can go wrong. Here's the first way. First, it starts off with a cell with a pair of chromosomes in it. Now, when that cell splits, the pair of chromosomes actually end up going into one cell, leaving the other one empty, causing one of the major problems. Now that cell splits again, and there would be 2 chromatids in each cell. Now, you might be wondering where the third chromatid comes from, and that is from your father. Now, by that happening, there's now an extra chromosome, which leads to Down syndrome. Just to clarify, for the chromosomes, I'm showing you just the chromosome 21. Now, I'll be showing you the second way on how meiosis can go wrong. First, it starts off with a pair of chromosomes, as usual. And when the cell splits, it should have 1 chromosome in one cell and the other chromosome in the other. This is meiosis 1. So this is normal, just like how it should go normally. But now, instead of the problem happening in meiosis 1, it is happening in meiosis 2. Now, instead of it splitting properly, the whole chromosome will go into one cell, leaving the other one empty. When this happens, it is called non-junction. This also applies to the first way meiosis can go wrong. This topic is important to research on, as scientists can better develop methods to understand how triplication can lead to certain diseases in order to treat and prevent them. Additionally, people with Down syndrome usually progress slowly than others, so by also researching this, they can find out ways that's causing them to delay in the cognitive ability. Technology can play a big part in Down syndrome in the near future. Scientists in the US have already done some experiments in which they were able to take some cells from people who have Down syndrome, and they were able to take the third chromosome. A treatment based on how they took away their chromosome is still under research. Additionally, there's something called CRISPR. As you know, we talked about this in class. CRISPR is technology that is still being under research and developed, but can essentially fix many diseases like disease, chromosomes, genes, etc. With this technology coming up, not only will this benefit people with Down syndrome, but can also help people with many other types of diseases. If people use this technology properly, it will be nothing but a benefit. With the new technology coming in that could eventually, potentially fix or cure Down syndrome, there are some changing perspectives. Currently, about 92% of mothers expecting a child with Down syndrome abort them. This perspective is only from Europe. This percentage may decrease as scientists were able to create a method of removing the third chromosome. Although they were able to remove this third chromosome, they still have to create a treatment for this. On the other side, there are parents who have children with Down syndrome, and with this technology, they may not want to put their children on this treatment. And before you start asking questions, many parents who have children with Down syndrome may not think there isn't anything wrong with their children. All they'll primarily worry about would be by removing the extra chromosome, would it change my child's personality or the way they acted? There are many different factors that can play in both perspectives. All in all, technology can change the perspectives of many people. You have finally reached the end of my video. Hopefully you learned a thing or two by watching it.